Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Don't Make Me Famous, where we talk about the road to Hollywood for Latinos as I navigate it myself. So, today I wanted to have a talk about our stories. So, I was looking at holiday movies, like trying to find some that actually pertain to us, like kind of a for us, by us situation. Um, And of course, I'm biased a little bit because I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from the Caribbean, um, and I'm also from the East Coast. So there's a big community of Puerto Ricans and Caribbean, Caribbean people that we have a very specific, tight knit type of family in most cases, and this time of year is actually, it's very cherished by a lot of people. Um, so I was looking for like like a movie that was like, you know what, man, like what like I want like like a feel good type of movie, maybe not something like, like It's a Wonderful Life, but something that was, I don't know, like made me like feel like feelings of nostalgia and stuff like that, but pertaining to my people, right? Um, and it turns out the only one that in recent memory that I could think of, and I tried to look up, was Nothing Like the Holidays. Came out a few years back. It was with John Leguizamo and Alfred Molina, Doctor Octopus. No shade. I love Doc Ock and I love Alfred Molina, and I definitely love John Leguizamo. He's always been a champion for Latinos and Hispanics, and and also like Caribbean people. Um, and we share a lot of similarities in terms of like background and and being from the East Coast and whatnot. So huge shout out to John. Um, like I know him on a fucking first name basis. Shout out to John. Get at me, John. Yeah. So Nothing Like the Holidays was like the only one that we had, and that like low key pissed me off. Because it's like you want your own type of representation, and I speak about representation a lot, because everybody seems to have it, right? And then when I say everybody, I don't mean like every single last person, because there wouldn't be underrepresented demographics, right? Like my own, like our own. So I say that with care, because I know that it's not everybody else, but I can only speak for my own, community, if you will. Um, and yeah, like Puerto Ricans don't have, like, we have I Like It Like That and Nothing Like the Holidays. And then, of course, we're in other things like, Do the Right Thing, and, like monster of a movie, love that. But we don't have like holiday movies like that. On the Mexican side of things, you have or I'm sorry, I should say South American, because it's not just Mexico, right? But yeah, like on that front, there's a whole bunch, or at least more than fucking one, or maybe two, that like kind of speak to our people a little bit. But yeah, Nothing Like the Holidays was it was like sort of like a whitewashed version of how we really are. It had little moments that we could be like, "Oh yeah," but it wasn't like it didn't hit every chord, if you will, right? Like it didn't strike every chord that I wanted it to strike, because you got these people who were very good in the roles, but I don't think it was their fault. Obviously, it's going to be a writer situation and a studio situation, overall overarching. So like it had its good moments, like it had like little, corny, campy in a good way, like humor that that Latino and Hispanic families have, Caribbean people have during the holidays, and like little interactions. Um, and I wasn't looking for like reggaeton all day long type of thing, or but that's not what I was looking for. But I felt like the perspective was a little bit like hazy, or like it was a little bit muddied by what I could only imagine, because obviously I wasn't there. Was a like a studio like person or people, kind of like steering that ship a little bit in a different direction, because I feel like it wasn't what it should have and could have been. Because let me tell you something, man. Like, we have all types of shit during the holidays. We have obviously, Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. We have, Christmas, obviously. We have Los Reyes, or Three Kings Day. Um, so we have like a lot of like ground to cover, to be able to pull from, like those type of holidays, and like, and how they affect us and the real people in the street, and I'm not talking about like all in the hood, but it's for the most part, yeah, like, I mean, we have those families that are very well to do, that are Latino, Hispanic families, and that's all well and good, but I don't I don't think that covers like the majority, and the majority. Not that they don't matter, obviously, but like they're the the neighborhoods that I came from. Like that shit was like spicy, man. Like, even in the wintertime, even during the holidays, it was like, you're going through everything. You're going through the families who didn't have a lot of money, who were trying to make ends meet, where like you're trying to do for your kids, and also get them gifts, and pay the rent, pay the mortgage, hold down a job, hold down a relationship. Like you got people that were drug addicts, people that weren't drug addicts, people dealing with people on drugs and alcohol, and all those different type of life situations that flavor who we are, and like how we operate in as a family unit, or units, blended families. We have all that shit, and it just doesn't seem to be explored like in the least. Like, and it's sad, because it's like there's so much of a market that I feel like is available for the people that go watch all the other movies, like It's a Wonderful Life, and I don't know, whatever, insert any like comedy with like non-Hispanic or Latino families, like they're all a little corny, and like, I guess that kind of lends itself to like the studio's view of, well, we don't really know anything about them, and then we don't think anybody would get it. But what they don't understand with that is that the people that are watching the ones that they're making are also us. Like, we're the ones that are also watching it. We contribute a large percentage to that. So like, we're watching all those fucking movies. So we need to have some type of representation, and like, and of course what that means is we need to do this shit ourselves, right? And like, and that takes obviously a big push by not just John Leguizamo, not just Lin Manuel Miranda. Like, God bless them, but it's like it takes more than just a couple dudes, and and I hold myself accountable to that too. Which is what also brings me to my next point, where it's like, all right, well, you don't have these things readily available, right? You want these things readily available, and it's like, you don't want to be a part of something that's going to flop, that's going to potentially like diminish your like your standing, but as like an actor, especially Latino or Hispanic actor. But at the same time, you got to take risks, you got to take swings, and some of those aren't going to work out. And I feel like if you put the right energy and the right like the right resources, and it doesn't mean that just because you put a lot of money something's going to be good, but because we have a lot of examples of that. But it's the message. It's like, hey, it's not about how much money we put into this, but it's like the message and like the energy that we're putting into that message. That's what we need to be really focusing on. Because if not, then you're gonna have a Hollywood like expensive movie that is kind of a piece of shit. Like it doesn't hold up. It like there's a lot of productions that happens to. It's like you don't really get to the nucleus of the people that you're wanting to show a sample of their life. And it's like, and then you wonder why they don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see half of those things that they try to pass off, as like, these shows or whatever. I'm not going to name any shows because like I would work on these shows as well, because it's those are steps into the right direction as an actor in your career. And sometimes you have to make that choice. But it and I say all that to say that they don't make it easy. They don't make that shit easy for you, and nor should they. But going back to like making our own things, we should try to partner with people as Latino filmmakers, as Hispanic filmmakers, to try to make those things that are missing in that world, in the ecosystem of film and television. So it takes swings. It takes big swings, like I said. And sometimes things aren't going to land, and you're going to have a hard time selling to whether you're going to sell a screenplay or like a show idea to somebody, to a production company, or just somebody that you hope to make something with. But sometimes like you have to find a way. You have to find a way to try to get it in the right room, to get the right set of eyeballs and ears on the project, so that you can hopefully make something of it and then push that needle forward. So you can make the thing that you want to see out there. Be the change, right? And I speak to myself with that. Like I am basically finished with the project, writing it anyway. That has to do with some of that. It's not necessarily the holidays, but it's like it's there's like a fiesta involved, like a family get together type of thing. I won't get too deep into it, but it has to do with it, and it came because I was getting sick of like rom-coms, and like rom-coms that didn't relate to me. That were like, oh yeah, this is cool, I guess, but it's like like I can't relate to that. Like I can't really, like they're all whitewash. It's like, and again, it's like there's no shade, like but there's it's just largely like white people in romantic situations with unrealistic circumstances. And it's like, and that's fine. Like, I believe me, I love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like a lot of those rom-coms. I fucking love those. Like they're like my little guilty pleasure, because like they're fun. They're warm. They make you feel warm. And like if you have someone, then like it kind of makes you like, oh yeah, let's watch a rom-com together. But as a Latino, as a Hispanic, it's like, come on, like I get it, like you're gonna do the movie that you're gonna do, but it's like I can't relate to you, like you're not, you're missing a big demographic that's potentially gonna make you a lot of fucking money. Blue Beetle worked largely because it spoke to some of those things that connect us all, but are also personal to us. So it could be done. It just needs that risk. It needs the risk taken by ourselves, by eventually studio if it gets to that big of a project, hopefully it. But yeah, like things like In the Heights. Yeah, it was a musical and it was fucking fantastic. I cried my fucking eyes out. You know, sorry for embarrassing my wife on that, but yeah, like like I cried my eyes out during like certain key scenes in that musical. But yeah, it was a musical and it did not get the credit that it deserved. But that's another video for another time. But yeah, like like there's a demographic that you're missing here, and you're just lumping my demographic into largely nothing. Like you're just like, all right, well, they'll watch what everybody else watches. Fuck them. They don't get a say. And if somebody starts to talk too much, then they kind of like, I'm not gonna say they blackball you, but they might. It might seem like they're blackballing certain people. Um, so yeah, again, man, like like John Leguizamo can't be the only voice that we hear. Like we need others to speak up and try to make something. Like there's companies out there that are starting to to want to make things that matter to us, and I hope that they get the traction that they deserve. Because we need it. So yeah, we need more stuff made from us and for us. So I'm going to end it with that. I hope everybody has a fantastic holiday season. I don't know if I'm going to make another one of these before the year is up, but I might, because it's my shit and I'll do what I want. So as always, keep going after your dream, and see you next time.